The influence of Planxty is as relevant today as it ever was. From Irish acts such as David Kitt and the Frames, to Manchester's Doves, to Kentucky's Will Oldham, and far beyond, their sense of adventure resonates from generation to generation.
As I rode out on a bright May morning to view the meadows and flowers so gay, who should I spy but my own true lover, as she sat under yon willow tree. I took off my hat and I did salute her. The first time I heard Planxty was on my way to, I was going to Paris for the summer to work in an Irish bar, and I was just in Dublin airport, and I kind of wanted to take something, you know, some Irish music. It was kind of my first time living abroad and on my own, and I wanted to take some traditional music with me. And so I was in Dublin airport, and I'd heard bits about Planxty, and you know, I mean, I knew Christy Moore was in Planxty, and you know, I liked some of his songs, and Donald Lunny was in Planxty, and I'd always admired Donald Lunny. You know, even playing with, you know, people that I wouldn't have been that into, like Mary Black, you'd see Donald Lunny in the background on a bouzouki or something and doing something really interesting. So, and my dad was always a big fan of Donald Lunny and Christy Moore, and he'd seen Planxty in the 70s in Ranelagh. I remember him telling me about that, and I guess I'd heard bits and pieces of the, you know, of legend about them, and so I just bought this cassette, the Planxty collection, and off I went to Paris. And when I got there, you know, what initially was kind of intended as something to kind of combat homesickness became a really important record for me. I was completely shocked, you know, blown away by what I heard. Until the day I die, when misfortune falls, sure no man can shun it. I was a blind fool, I'll ne'er deny. Now at nights when I go to my slumber, it's thoughts of my true love run in my mind. When I turn around to embrace my darling, instead of gold, sure 'tis brass I find. And I wish the Queen would call home her army from the West Indies, America and Spain, and to every man his wedded woman, in hopes that you and I will meet again.
I ever wanted.
A band that are almost mythical, but most definitely legendary. Interference on Other Voices, Songs from a Room, Tuesday at 9 on Network 2.
Before the end of the first period of Planxty, Donald Lunny had left to form the Bothy Band, being replaced by Andy Irvine's old pal, Johnny Moynihan. Christy Moore was already a high-profile solo artist, and he left to be replaced by Paul Brady. Lunny's ventures with the Bothy Band proved fruitful, as they had their own wild and robust new sound for traditional Irish music.
When Brady came into the band in September '74, for a while we were a five-piece. We were doing this play in Edinburgh, and Christy stayed on to do it. And that was brilliant. I mean, I'd like to have a recording of that, because we did a couple of concerts at the time and they were excellent. But Christy left, and Paul was our engine room. You know, when Donal left the band, Johnny, lovely player, very lyrical player, but not an engine room player. And we started to slide a bit there because we got a bit thin in sound, because I'm not an engine room player either. And
Very robust.
yeah. And when Paul joined the band, we got the engine room back. So for a while after that, we were kind of back up. But just the 3.5 years of permanent gigging began to get to us. And everybody, Liam called a meeting over there in Belmont Avenue. We knew what it was going to be. You know, we thought, aha, this is it. And when we were all kind of there, he said, well, I called this meeting because I want to leave the band. And everybody else said, yes, I do too, me. So we all left the band and came over here and got plastered, I'm sure. And by the end of the night, we were probably saying, oh God, it was a great band. Should we really do this? Yeah. But we did. And then Paul, the next day, Paul rang me up and said, Andy, what are we going to do? Yeah. So we became a duo, and as people have said, we made an album in '76, which probably would have been Planxty's fourth album, or part of it.
Our sustenance is taken away, our tithes and taxes for to pay, to support that law-protected church to which they do adhere. And our Irish gentry, well, you know, to other countries they do go. And the money from old Ireland they squander here and there. But if those squires would stay at
I think it's a great album. I love it. It was magical making it, and
to build mills and factories,
you know,
here to employ
we didn't have any notion whatsoever that people would still be talking about it in 2003. I hadn't a clue. It was just us doing the songs that we had been touring for years, and it amazes me ever since how popular it's become. Even, I mean, not even among folk people, but like, you know, all over the world I go, like people come up to me, the strangest people out of the strangest disciplines of music, like punks and used to come up and say they loved the album. People in the mainstream pop, you know, it just had something, I don't know what it had.
Riders interviewing the cattle, just as they came there, oh, they all laid their money on the Monaghan grey mare.
In 1975, after a meeting around the corner in their manager Des Kelly's office, the members of Planxty adjourned here at Madigan's pub in Donnybrook to drink to the demise of the band. Both Donal and Christy had left at this stage, and Strabane singer Paul Brady and Sweeney's Men legends Johnny Moynihan were both members. But the band were in severe debt and making very little money. Like so many other musical mavericks, Planxty had